How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And you know what time it is. It is time for the joke of the day. If you're new to this channel, we do this 5 days out of the week. Maybe you had a long, maybe you had a stressful day, or maybe it was the market conditions where you came to watch this video, plus hear one of my corny jokes. Here it comes. What do you call a priest that becomes a lawyer? A father-in-law. Not too bad. But anyways, what we're going to be talking about today is OCGN knocking it out the ballpark with another green day. You guys can see how excited I am. We know there's a lot of anticipation, a lot of FOMO coming into the play. I'll talk about it more. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support and we want to know resistance and what are some levels we want to look for going into tomorrow. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information. We know already, depending on what the short volume ratio is looking like, it will have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then afterwards, we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution. Was there a lot of buying or selling on the retail side? What was happening on the institutional side? We're going to find that out. And then when all of that is done, we'll be jumping into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for OCGN. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $8.78, being up 5.40%. On the low, it tested $8.41, and then on the high, testing $9.10. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 17.863 million shares, and then for the average volume over 10 trading days being at 34.653 million shares. So what this shows us right away, even though we did have below average volume, there are many who are still holding shares, and we also had some people who are buying in. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is the 1 year daily chart, we could see from the RSI down below, it is at 59.16. And when we take a look at the moving averages on our chart, we have strength above all of them, which is the 200 day, the 100 day, the 50 day, and as well as the 21 day EMA. So it is great to see we're able to hold up the $8 level. And the best part about it is, as you can see on the low, we tested right around 841. So going into tomorrow, I would love to see a continuation of this being support. And as you can see, as we go back over here on the 18th, we are seeing increasing levels of support as well. So the next level where I'd want to see some strength will be right around 850. That's my personal opinion if we pull back. Now, as far as resistance is concerned, we did talk about in the previous video, we would see it at the $9 level. We were able to test $9.10 before being hit with some selling pressure. So with that said, I'm going to be looking forward to seeing us get past this $9.10 area and then make that move to where we can get here to around $9.46 and seeing where we can go from there. The 10 range would definitely be a good look, and I will be keeping an eye on that, and I will be talking about that in the video for tomorrow if we end up reaching that, of course. But for the most part, let's see if we can hold down 850 on a morning dip for tomorrow, or even around 860. I wouldn't be mad at that whatsoever. So let's see how it performs. So now we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for OCGN. So as we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So we could see here for October the 20th being a closed position from Patriot Investment Management Inc. that ended up closing out. We also did see that in yesterday's video when we went over Arcadios Wealth Advisors. So now let's take a look at the short interest. So for the dark pool short volume ratio, it's at 45.44, and then for the dark pool short volume being just over 3.1 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 700,000, updated 13 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate being at 2.05%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we could see for the close of the 18th it was 45.52, and then the close for the 19th, which was yesterday, 45.44. So what we could see clearly, it is still remaining around the same, which tells us OCGN does continue to have short squeeze potential. So if you're inside of this play, there's going to be a lot of volatility. But of course, if you've been in it long enough, you're already used to this. So now let's jump into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for OCGN. So we can see here on the inflow, it was 37.93. And then on the outflow, it was 31.66. So we ended up having an inflow day. When we take a look at the breakdown, we had 0 on the large, 27.35 on the medium, and then 10.58 on the small. When we take a look at the outflow side, we had 0 on the large. On the medium, we had 22.54, and then on the small, we had 9.12. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see we had 0 for October the 20th, and we also did have this yesterday as well. But quickly, when we take a look at the breakdown, you can clearly see there was a lot of buying on the retail side. We also did have a good amount of selling, but I'm going to chalk that up as many traders just taking profits and so forth. And then when we take a look at the medium, of course, inflows winning out. And again, I feel like it's very similar to what happened on the small, just a lot of profit taking, but that is completely fine. One thing that I do want to bring to your attention, we did have low volume on the day compared to the average. So what this tells me, there are many people who are holding shares and we had buying coming into the play. And that's part of the reason why we ended up seeing a strong day and also getting closer to that date that who gave us in regards to the update. So now let's jump into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for OCGN, as far as the price action is concerned, I'm happy with it. One thing that I want to look forward to going into tomorrow, I want to see us continue to have increasing levels of support. So if we can have some support right at that $8.60 range on that morning dip, then I'm going to look forward to us making that retest, going back into that $9 range like we did today. And of course, I'm going to want to see a bigger movement. But for the most part, you guys already know already, I'm just holding my position, waiting on the big time decision for the EUL. And now another thing that I want to go over, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, this play does continue to have short squeeze potential. So you know there's going to be a lot of volatility. And this is part of the reasons I give you guys, hey, where you want to look for support, what you want to look for on a dip, so you're not buying at the highs. You don't need to be buying blindly here, especially if you are considering it. I'm not telling you guys to go out there and buy shares. Of course, this is not financial advice. But for the most part, I can see the anticipation. I can see the FOMO, many people wanting to get into this play because like I said, it's right around the corner in regards to the update, and I want to make sure you guys are prepared for that. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.